Hello everyone, this is MarauderEX, doing Let's Play Domestic Affairs. Part 47 of Let's Play Dragon Force, kicking it off with Domestic Affairs, and lots of it. I'm afraid this video is mainly going to be Domestic Affairs. I've got a ton of stuff to do, and it starts off with the story, so it's just going to be a while. So you can either sit back and read the story, Vangle the Dragon Man, or you can listen to my ranting and raving for the next few minutes. Either or. It's gonna be a good time. First off on my rant, YouTube decided that I did not need to have my user icon, and it changed it to something completely random. Changed it to one of my video stills, and now it won't let me change it back. What the hell, man? I liked my icon. Apparently it's some sort of known issue, so bully to them. Hopefully it'll be fixed soon and I'll have my regular icon back. Secondly, I'm really not impressed with many games that are coming out nowadays. A very good friend of mine works for the evil that is GameStop. Technically I work for the evil that is GameStop, considering the company I work for is part of the same parent company, so I mean, I get an employee discount there, which I guess makes me just as bad as them. And I do feel dirty for that. I apologize. I try to do what I can to repent for it, but, you know, I'd have an easier time repenting for, you know, burning a box of puppies than dealing with GameStop. Anyway, so yes, friend works for GameStop, and he shows me a ton of games that come out. He owns pretty much every system that you can imagine. At least any of the next-gen systems. He doesn't keep games for very long. He gets them, plays them, beats them, and unless they've got a massive amount of replay value, he gets rid of them. Downloads, you know, all the content that you can for them, and a lot of the games that he does, he just downloads straight off, so he's constantly playing the newest stuff. And every time he's here, he'll show me like what his new favorite is, what the current thing that he's working on, and I have to say, I'm generally not impressed with games anymore. There's only a few games coming out that I'm really going to be impressed with. At least I'm hoping I'm going to be impressed with. Arkham Asylum looks awesome, but I mean, I'm a sucker for Batman. I mean, comic books I love, so. And they've got Mark Hamill doing the voice of the Joker, which I grew up with the Batman animated series. That was like the coolest show on when I was a kid, because it was dark, it was gritty, it was different than any other cartoon at the time, so the fact that they got him to reprise his role is phenomenal. That's really the only game I can say that I'm looking forward to. I don't have a PS3. I couldn't justify spending the money on it. But Infamous looks eh. I mean, it's just another sandbox game where instead of, you know, this time killing hookers, you shoot hookers with lightning. I guess it's the same thing. There's not as much innovation as there used to be. I'm sitting here going back. I mean, my first two Let's Plays are of Sega Saturn games. I guess that makes it a little biased that my favorite games are the ones that I grew up on, and I'm holding everything else to a ridiculously high standard, but I mean, come on. Dragon Force, there's one other game that I've seen that's even remotely similar to this, and it came out for the PS2 and the PSP, Generation of Chaos. It's a great game. I got it for the PSP. It was a birthday gift from said friend who owns everything. Great game. It's like Dragon Force on the go. Not quite the same, but I mean, you could see that it was a progression. But going through it, there's no other game like half of these games. Panzer Dragoon Saga. Completely innovative RPG for the time. I mean, it was awesome. Just what you were doing in that game felt so different than any other RPG, even though the base mechanics of any RPG are pretty much the same. It was awesome. Going back, watching some Let's Plays earlier today, Skies of Arcadia. Awesome game for the Dreamcast. I mean, it's like steampunk meets Dungeons and Dragons in the sky. It's really awesome. Grandia 2. The Grandia games, in my opinion, are just awesome regardless, so there's nothing else that I can say about that. But what RPGs have come out? I mean, Fallout 3... I love Fallout, I really do. I grew up with the first two, as what little PC gaming that I did. Fallout 3 is Oblivion with guns. And while it's not the same as the predecessors, I do like it. But I mean, it's Oblivion with guns. That's all it is. And everything's becoming, you know, this whole first-person aspect. It's either a first-person aspect or it's a sandbox. Are we getting so bored and cautious with our game design that we're not straying away from either of those two aspects? I mean, if it's not Halo, then it sucks, sort of thing. I mean, really. But I mean, the systems really do follow a niche market. I mean, the Xbox really is an American console. If you look at sales figures, it just doesn't do as well abroad as it does here. And if you look at the games for it, that's pretty much a shining example. It's got a lot of first-person shooters. It's got a lot of American-esque games. It doesn't have a lot of JRPGs, and the few that it does get seem to be subpar or bashed by at least the media that reviews them here in the US. The Wii... I had high hopes for the Wii. Oh god, did I have high hopes for the Wii. But it fails. It's got like 2 good games on it. And that's it. And everything else is shovelware. Like, repeat shovelware. If I see one more Carnival game title come out for it, I swear I'm going to light something on fire. The PS3, it's the traditional, quintessential Japanese system. It's the PlayStation's. The Blu-ray did not do as much as they were expecting. They were hoping... The PS2 was so popular because it had a built-in DVD player, right as DVDs were becoming, you know, the most mainstream thing out there. And cheap DVD player plus the ability to play video games, that's awesome. But Blu-ray just came out. And it's, a lot of people don't have the ability to sync everything into it to get the most out of Blu-ray. So, it jumped the gun on that one. Like, hardcore. Oh. Well, yes, that's my rant on video games. I honestly think, you know, the older school video games were a lot better, at least more innovative. There was more to them, there was a little more substance. Some of the newer games out, I will concede they're trying. Some of the developers, they're trying to push it, but given the state of things, they don't want to sink too much money into something that they're not sure about. So I mean, the whole system is a double-edged sword. We don't want to spend the money on something that may not be good, so they're not going to spend the money on something innovative because we don't know if it's going to be good in the long run. I do see the double-edged sword aspect of it. I'm not saying it doesn't piss me off, but come on, really. We could do so much more with it, if we tried. Not that I have the skills to develop a game, for a video game at least, so. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it, now that you guys are probably tired of listening to my rants and raves. This is MarauderEX, and this has been part 47 of Let's Play Dragon Force. I will see you all in our next installment. Have a good one all. Hey, sweetie, what's up?